Claire Danes is just extraordinary to work with.
Yeah, talk more about her.
Oh my God. I mean, she's the real deal, you know, and she is nothing like Carrie Mathison. She is funny and fun and very well educated, went to Yale, and she on every level will just go there. She will go there, and is just fearless. And I think she's made me a better director. Yeah, and giving her a note, she's like a racehorse, you know, and all of the directors who come in are just like, oh my goodness, like you give her one note and she will embrace that. She's extraordinary, extraordinary to work with. And again, the amount of research she's done on bipolar disorder and how it goes into her body, you know, and she just, you know, she can go anywhere and will go anywhere and is absolutely beautiful, but doesn't play that at all in this character, because this character is without frills, you know. But I also think having a female character that is that layered and complex and complicated, and, you know, I think looking at being a mom, and yes, she loves her daughter, but she's not really cut out to be a great mom, you know, and at the end of this season, making the bigger sacrifice of saying, okay, I'm, for the good of my child, I'm going to leave you with your aunt where you have a stable life, rather than pulling and pushing for what I want. You know, is a huge shift in that character. But, you know, to look at someone who is not a perfect mom, like guys can do that, can dip in and out of a child's life, you know, and have a great career and don't have to be on full-time mom duty. But that's not accepted in women. That is considered a real, like, ooh, you know, you have stepped over the line there. So I think it's very interesting to look at that. Mandy is amazing. And, you know, he has talked very vocally about, you know, he took a job a number of years ago because he had a bit of a reputation, you know. And I think I mentioned before, we have a total no asshole policy on Homeland, which is great because it makes it a very wonderful place to work. And the best idea wins. And what Alex Ganza and Howard Gordon have done with the writer's room is that it's basically a writer's room of showrunners, you know, and the best idea wins. And that certainly, as directors, you're really empowered to do that. And it makes it very exciting. So Mandy came in with a bit of a reputation. He had a not good experience on Criminal Minds. I think he took a show that he didn't believe in fact, felt really badly about the material, and he shouldn't have done it, and apparently behaved badly. Mandy loves what we're working on. So he has been amazing to work with. You know, he is so talented. There is a well of emotion and truth in him, and I love working with him. He is complicated as a person and layered, and you know, he brings all of that to the character. So he's been incredible to work with, and he's addressed this, you know, how his behavior was, you know, in a 60 Minutes piece. I mean, he's talked about it, you know, and I think that says a lot. I love Rupert, you know, and we're very good friends, and he's so talented, and he really, you know, I directed the first scene where that character really had, you know, really developed. And it was figuring out who Peter Quinn was going to be. And what we found in the first scenes was that the stiller he was, the more powerful he was. You know? And it was interesting to see that character develop. But, you know, here is a guy, very complicated backstory, you know, kind of a street kid who was taken in, became a black ops, you know, assassin of sorts, you know, military, you know, and I think between he and Carrie, they kind of met their match in each other, you know, but could never be together as a result of it. But the two people who are probably the most alike, most understand each other in terms of their commitment to mission, and what they're doing and the kind of life they're choosing to lead. And why, and yet as a result of all those things can't really be together. But that character just grew and grew, and I think Rupert did incredible work when he is gassed, and it was just, again, doing the research on that. And then his last season where he is really the wounded warrior, and what happens when you have that kind of injury, and you have been trained to do a very particular job, highly trained, and you can't do that job anymore. And his own sense of self, and how our government, actually, the VA, deals with that, and then his ultimate choice too, which was of sacrifice, and for Carrie and for Keen. So he ended up back kind of being the soldier that he always was. But his struggle in that season of trying to come to terms with all of this was really powerful. And the work on what happens when you have a stroke like that, how does it affect you, and what you understand. And a lot of this documentary, My Beautiful Broken Brain, and research on stroke and how it affects part of the body and how that manifested itself. He did an amazing job. I was so sad. It's always so sad to lose major characters that you love and love the actors that play them.
Yeah, that must have been a hard scene to shoot.
Yeah, and then our last scene with him for the season, forever, was in this scuzzy parking garage, so totally Homeland. We're in this disgusting place, drinking champagne, seeing him off. It was very emotional.